Have you ever wondered how the recent defense cooperation between the United States and Indonesia might reshape the geopolitical landscape? In the vast theater of the Indo-Pacific, a drama of power and influence is playing out. The catalyst? China's robust economic growth and military modernization. As China's presence looms larger, nations near and far cast wary eyes on the region. One such nation is Indonesia, the world's fourth largest country and a jewel of strategic significance. Its position and neutrality have made it the apple of the eye for both the United States and China. Both superpowers are vying to secure their influence in this critical region. Historically, Indonesia has danced a delicate waltz of neutrality between the world's superpowers. But recent events have seen a shift in this stance. The growing concern over China's activities in Indonesian waters, particularly in the Natuna Sea, has led to a surge in Indonesia's defense spending. From frigates and submarines to fighter jets and armored vehicles, Indonesia is bolstering its military prowess. But it's not just about hardware, it's also about alliances. Indonesia is seeking increased cooperation with other countries, including Japan and the United States. As we dive deeper into this topic, we'll see how this defense cooperation could shape the future of the Indo-Pacific region. Let's delve into the events leading up to the signing of the defense cooperation between the United States and Indonesia. The G20 summit in Bali, Indonesia served as a backdrop for this pivotal move. Now, the G20 is no small affair. It represents 80% of the global economic output, 60% of the world's population, and 75% of global trade. So, when the leaders of this influential group gather, the world takes notice. The summit was supposed to focus on post-pandemic recovery, but it was not to be. Geopolitical divisions took center stage, casting long shadows on the proceedings. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, for instance, proved to be a thorny issue that divided the member states. The presence of leaders like Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky added a layer of uncertainty, shifting the attention away from the global challenges that Indonesian President Joko Widodo had hoped to address. But the most anticipated event of the summit was the meeting between US President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping. The tension between these two superpowers has been escalating, and their face-off at the summit was expected to be a focal point. The world watched, waiting for a hint of what might come next. Meanwhile, Indonesia was carefully navigating these choppy geopolitical waters. While maintaining close ties with China, it was also becoming increasingly aware of the potential threat Beijing poses. This awareness, coupled with its concern about Chinese activities in its waters, particularly in the Natuna Sea, prompted Indonesia to increase its defense procurement and sustainment spending. It sought increased cooperation with other countries, including Japan and the United States. With the stage set for a geopolitical showdown, the United States and Indonesia took a bold step towards a new alliance. Now that we understand the circumstances leading to the defense cooperation, let's explore the aftermath of this significant agreement. The signing of this defense pact between the United States and Indonesia is like a ripple effect in a large pond. It's not just about the two countries involved, but its waves are sure to touch the shores of other nations, particularly those in the Indo-Pacific region. Let's start with the elephant in the room: China. This defense agreement could potentially increase tensions with the Asian powerhouse, which has been expanding its influence in the region. For instance, Indonesia's strategic location and neutrality have made it a focus for both China and the US in their competition for influence. So it's plausible to say that this pact might not sit well with Beijing, but it's not all about tensions. There are potential benefits for both the United States and Indonesia. For the US, this agreement is a strategic move to strengthen its influence in a region where China is a dominant player. On the other hand, for Indonesia, this defense pact is an opportunity to boost its military modernization efforts. It's like hitting two birds with one stone, enhancing their military capabilities while also balancing the power dynamics in the region. Now, let's talk about the effects on the other countries in the region. This defense agreement could potentially influence the way these countries shape their relations with both the US and China. For instance, the Philippines, which has been trying to reset its relations with the US, might take cues from this defense pact. Moreover, it's worth noting that this defense cooperation is a part of a broader picture: the US's pivot to Asia strategy. This strategy involves strengthening alliances with Asian countries to counter China's growing influence. So it's safe to say that this defense pact with Indonesia is a significant step in this direction. As we've seen, the defense cooperation between the United States and Indonesia is not just a bilateral agreement, but a strategic move with potential far-reaching implications for the global stage. We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's summarize what we've learned. The United States and Indonesia have entered into a new defense cooperation, a noteworthy development that reflects the shifting power dynamics in the Indo-Pacific region. This agreement not only bolsters Indonesia's national security, but also underscores the United States' strategic intent to counterbalance China's growing influence. The geopolitical ripples of this pact could be far-reaching, and might reshape the future of the Indo-Pacific region. This defense cooperation marks a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape, and only time will reveal its true impact. Thanks for joining us today, and stay tuned for more insights on global affairs.